The Green Zone Initiative is a state of Nevada's effort to marshal all available resources in the areas of wellness, education, and employment for Nevada's veterans. And I'll pause there for a moment. You know when we say veterans, we're talking about service members, veterans, their families, and their survivors. So pardon me for using the shorthand. It is a statewide strategic planning initiative designed to improve services to Nevada's service members, veterans, and their families, to increase collaboration among service providers, and to provide a roadmap for ways to improve the current offering of services to policymakers, nonprofit funders in philanthropy, and other members of the statewide community. It is augmented by a statewide infrastructure and architecture to support it, including the Interagency Council on Veterans Affairs, local veteran community councils, specific focus area efforts, and an online social networking platform. More simply put, the Green Zone Initiative is a roadmap for those wanting to increase engagement with Nevada's veterans. It is a plan for statewide collaboration, and it is a platform to communicate.
Our nation's veterans, service members, and their families have Nevada's unwavering support. Assisting Nevada's veterans population and our military men and women has been one of my administration's greatest priorities. One of our recent efforts has been to establish the Green Zone Initiative, an effort to help improve how we deliver services to Nevada's veterans, service members, and their families. This initiative will assist with their job and educational prospects, as well as improve access to wellness benefits by making it easier to find information. In short, we want to ensure that service members, veterans, and their families are informed of all their benefits and have access to them in the best way possible. The goal of this plan is to align available resources through an interagency approach to improve how our state delivers services to our veterans. While there are many services, benefits, and opportunities for service members, veterans, and their families in existence, there are also gaps in those services. It is our job, to ensure that we improve the delivery of those services for those who have served our country and take the steps to close those gaps. This initiative will improve how we communicate with the veterans and service members, working toward the ultimate goal of ensuring that every veteran that returns to our state is provided the resources they have earned and that they deserve.
What I'd like to talk to you about today are basically two things: the how and the why for the Green Zone Initiative. Admiral Mullen established my office. I'm the director for the Office of Warrior and Family Support. He established it 3 years ago. He realized there was a collective sea of goodwill, more than 40,000 veteran serving organizations, in addition to all the government entities that were trying to help fill gaps and take care of veterans and their families. So when it comes to the how, based off of my office's relatively young experience, only 3 years in the Pentagon isn't saying much, but what we have found are that there are some consistencies I'd like to share with you today, and I hope that you take back with you to the county and the regional, the community councils and the cities, and maybe find these useful as you take the Green Zone Initiative beyond today to the next step and the next practice. 3 things. The first is a convener. The governor served as a convener. It doesn't go unnoticed among my office, and we share this example across the states of how Nevada is breaking new ground in this realm and this landscape. To take back to your counties and your communities and the cities is this question: who's the convener there? And it's often based on personalities and sheer will. It doesn't have to be the mayor. It doesn't have to be the director of the Chamber of Commerce. It doesn't have to be a politician. It can be a principal, a Cub Scout packmaster. But it's someone who's willing to convene and invest her personal time to call others to the table and discuss the issues and find a solution in the name of veterans and military families. The second piece is data. And what we're finding is it's terrifically important to collect data so that you can identify where to invest the volunteer efforts and the monies to greatest effect. Again, it's not always the same. Every community is different, just like every veteran and family member is different. But the data is important to help you identify where that need is and to allocate those personal volunteer efforts and the monies that people will contribute to this landscape to good order and effect. You've already conducted an environmental scan here in Nevada, and I would encourage you to use that data and refine it to your specific locations. And it can be a county, it can be a city, it can be as something specific as a block. But use that environmental scan and refine it to identify where you should focus your efforts on the greatest need you perceive and avoid some of the redundancies that might exist if you did not have the data and didn't have the opportunity to put it to good use. One of the most important questions you can ask over the coming years as you pursue this initiative is who's not in the room? And take a look right now and ask yourself who's not in the room but should be here. Nevada's initiative doesn't go unnoticed. Part of what we do in this office is to take the examples to other states. And I can assure you we'll take them to other states and refer them to Caleb and your efforts and the examples you're going to set and tell them this is how it needs to be done.
It's a community site. And I'm going to go again, thinking back to what Caleb just said, is the Green Zone Network at its heart is about going into that sea of goodwill and connecting all those fishes, big, small, man-eaters, whatever. We're connecting people and communities, connecting private sector, service providers, veterans, their families. And finally, as Caleb said, the Green Zone Network really serves as the first, and it is a first step, and I want you all to think about that. It's the first step, what you're going to see today. It's the first operational platform for the Green Zone Initiative to bring everything together. Thinking about the broad community of veterans, not just veterans themselves, but veterans and their family members, service organizations, private sector businesses, other governments. It's really one of the first out there to try and bring all of that together in one place to really leverage that sea of goodwill to become something bigger and greater than its parts. And that really is the power of the new technology as well. What are the goals and benefits of the Green Zone Network? Working together as a community, and again, thinking of that power of the community, we can attract new veterans and veteran resources, initially to Nevada. Optimize support and current efforts for current veterans. Engage and facilitate interactivity among veterans and communities. Caleb was just giving some examples of how folks can use this Green Zone Network platform to actually get together on their own and create new ways to participate, connect, create value for veterans. And at its heart, increase job opportunities, health and wellness, and access to learning for veterans. That really is the fulfillment of the Green Zone Initiative that we hope to achieve and we plan to achieve with the Green Zone Network. And it's specifically the platform, the Green Zone Network, specifically organized around those three silos, right? Wellness, education, and employment. And then one more general one that you're going to see, community, where folks can really come out and do whatever and connect on whatever means they need to connect, even if it's not within one of those silos. Veterans, friends and families, community supporters, service organizations. And in the middle there you see just a few of the things that we've already sampled out there. Deals for veterans, community connections, educational opportunities, wellness opportunities and benefits, employment opportunities, questions and conversations among the people. Think about a Facebook for veterans. This is truly the first of its kind out there, and certainly the first of its kind social network that was convened, and I love that word, convened by Governor Sandoval and sponsored and hosted by government as opposed to something out there just in the world.